to deal with a difficult client who keeps rejecting your work. Whether you're working on a small little website project or a multi-million dollar software project or marketing project or what have you, we have seen instances where the client does not seem to be happy no matter how much you try. They keep rejecting the work, they keep rejecting the output, and you are stuck between rock and a hard place. So, how do you deal with this? Well, the first thing is, first get clarity and absolute clarity on what is the outcome they are looking for. Because what happens is, in many cases, the client is looking for a certain outcome, meaning they may be looking for $100,000 in additional revenue. They may be looking for 10 additional clients. They may be looking for a website that attracts 100,000 users or something along those lines. Be very specific with hard numbers and targets on what the client is actually looking for. There could be a subtle difference in what you think the client expects. Let's say you are building a website, and what the client actually expects is a website that brings in leads automatically. So, getting down to the point of what is the end result the client is looking for will give you good clarity, and you can work accordingly and make sure you get the end results that the client is looking for. Secondly, always try to keep the client in the know as you're executing the project. So, this methodology is primarily used in software projects and it's called Agile Methodology. Basically, what it does is it helps you to break down a large project into smaller chunks, and those chunks are executed in 1 week or 2 week sprints. We call it sprint. So the idea is that instead of going running a long marathon and delivering a product after a long marathon to the client when there could be surprises, you do this in short sprints. And at the end of every sprint, let's say 1 week, 2 week, you actually demo what you have done to the client. And that way, the client is accompanying you on the journey as you are executing the project. This not only keeps the client up to speed, but if there is any course correction that needs to be made, this can happen in an agile fashion, in a collaborative fashion with the client. So, in a way, the client is actually also taking ownership of the outcome, because as they are accompanying you on this journey, they cannot go back and say, "Hey, I approved this 6 weeks ago, and I don't approve. I don't approve it now," because they are on the journey with you. So, and the next thing is the terminology, because many times what happens is our clients are not from similar industry as ours, and one thing that means one thing in one industry could mean totally something else in another industry, and this can actually cause confusion. I'm sure you have heard of anecdotes where a NASA scientist used centimeters instead of inches, and it caused hundreds of millions of dollars of loss in certain landings and whatnot. Those anecdotes are, whether true or false, they happen all the time in business scenarios. So I always advise entrepreneurs, executives, to really come up with a common dialect, common terminology that you can use to communicate with the clients, so that when you say, "Hey, my sprint is over," they don't actually mean it's a sprint on a track and field, but it actually is a sprint of the project that you completed. And this is just an example, but there are many examples where slight confusion over terminology have created a huge mess. The next thing is project management and time schedule. Everybody wants to get things done fast. They want the results yesterday. And this can only happen if you manage your projects well, if you break down the chunks into smaller chunks and manage it in a way that you don't have surprises in terms of delays and whatnot. So these are some of the things that you can take into account and keep your client in the know and work with them in a collaborative way, so that the outcome is shared by everyone. You as a service provider or a product producer, and the client who is expecting an awesome result from you. So I hope this helps. And if you need any help in building any technology project and getting your startup off the ground, or really controlling something that is gone haywire, and you really want to bring it back to a shape where you can get massive results using human psychology or technology, artificial intelligence, let us know. My team and I will be happy to help you.